just to explain to Ryan, this is the first stretch class. What I try and do is I try and mix up the stretching. Again, certain people, they're flexible in different areas. And again, sometimes we do a specialist stretch. But the good thing about this warm, sticky weather is our body's already warm, so we should be able to stretch a bit further. So what we're going to do is we're going to warm up like normal. We're going to do a bit of yoga flow, but then I'm going to test some of your flexibility, see because of the weather, are we a bit warmer, okay? So, from here, feet shoulder apart, we're just going to circle the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then change direction. 6, and then take it side to side. So keep your head still and push your hip up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then push your hands into your back, push your hips forward and look up to the ceiling. Now interlock your hands behind you. If you can't interlock your hands, just hold your hands tight here and then just pull forward. So that's going to be the little routine. As we breathe in, we're going to push our hands to our back and look up. And then interlock your hands and breathe forward. Good. And again, breathe in. And push forward. Breathe in. And one more time, breathe out. Okay, now take your feet just wide of the shoulder width. You're going to come down to the floor. Where your hands are, they can be here, they can be here, they can be above your head, doesn't really matter. But you're going to squat down as low as you can and then come up. Okay, so just do 6 of these. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go with your breath. 4, 5, and on the 6th one we're going to stay down there. Now you can either have your palms together or your knuckles together, okay? Basically you bring your palms together, pushing your knees out, okay? We're just going to do 6 of these. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then if you can, put your hands forward. If you can't get your hands to the floor, put them on blocks, okay, or pads, okay? And again, you keep your hands here. If that's like enough tension for you, that's fine. But if you're okay, just lift your arm up, look up your hand circles. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, change direction. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, change arm, go the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go the other way. 4, 5, 6, and then slowly stand up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm already warm. So we don't have to warm up anymore because we're already warm. Okay, we'll just move through this couple of things. So we're going to go through the basic, we're not going to do any vinyasa or anything like that, we're just going to go through the basic poses. So it doesn't matter which way you stand, I'm just going to stand at the side so you can see me. So the first standing pose in yoga that we normally do is called Warrior 1. And all we're going to do today is just going to go with our breath. So again, it doesn't really matter where your hands are, but what I like to do is, as my knee goes down, I push my arms up, and this keeps my back straight. So as I stand up, I bring my hands to a prayer. As I step into it, I go forward. 2. Each time, try and go a bit lower. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and we could stay on one side, but we're just going to flip to the other side now. So the feet are shoulder width, like you're on train tracks. Legs are straight, hands are in prayer. As you bend the knee, push that knee forward. Okay, now the next pose is Warrior 2. Very similar, but this time the feet are on the same line. So this one's slightly different with the hand. Again, you don't have to do this with the hands, but I find it helps. When the legs are straight, the hands are up. As your one knee bends, the arms come down. So you breathe in, and then breathe out. Fantastic. And then change legs again. So we're going to turn the leg up. Yeah, we'll just do 5 of each. Breathe in, and breathe out. Okay, now we're going to do a prolonged stretch in what's called side angle. Have a block handy on the inside of your leg, or if you're more advanced, you can put the block on the outside of the leg, or if you're very advanced, you don't need the block at all. So, number 1, we're just going to chill out with our forearm resting on our knee. Now, here's the warning signs. Your top shoulder will want to do this, will want to creep forward. So you need to be high enough, and again, a good way to keep high is to have your hand up in the air. We might not notice our shoulder, but if our hand starts going forward, we notice that straight away. So look up at your hand here. So this is stage 1. The rule in yoga is you should be able to breathe in a relaxed way. If you start breathing faster or holding your breath, then you are jamming the muscle no good. If that is available to you, there is an advancement where you've got the block on the higher setting and you put the hand on the block. And again, the rule is if your shoulder starts creeping forward, then that is too much for you. And the good thing about a block is it goes to various sizes until you get to the floor. Now, if you can, bring both hands to the floor. I'm just going to move the block out of the way. So for some of you now, just having 2 hands on the floor will be very intense. There's a variation where we take both hands on the foot. So if you notice there what I did, I wrap the hand around the foot and put it here. Now there's a final variation where your top hand comes around your back for a half bind, or a full bind, the hands interlock. And this is, that's fine. Not many people can when they first start, right? And just showing you how these stretches progress. So if you stand up now, that leg will be on fire, and we're going to the other leg, okay? So again, there are different ways of stretching. One is to move through the motion, which is fine, it's called flossing. Another one is to hold in the motion. Basically, you're tricking your body to stay in a stretch longer than you normally would if you just stayed still. So again, go to the basic stretch first, which is called the extended side angle. Just lean here. You can have the hand over the head. Another variation is you reach forward like you're grabbing a ball. That will obviously engage your leg more. But again, whichever's up to you. And then if you're okay with it, if you're able to breathe in and breathe in normally, you can bring your hand down to a block. But make sure that shoulder doesn't start to tip forward. If that shoulder starts to tip forward, then we are putting ourselves under too much stress. And again, like before, if you can, bring both hands to a pad or block, or both hands to the floor. Welcome to stay in any of these stages. The next stage is to wrap your hand around the foot. You can do a half bind, where you just take the hand behind your back, or you can try and link the fingers together for a full bind. And if you can do the full bind, Haroon, now start to look up. So you want to open up that chest. Feel it working now?
Yeah.
That's it. Again, your shoulder wants to go forward, so always the same thing, shoulder forward. Okay, stand up. Yeah, that's it. There we go. So that feeling that you did on the, you want to keep that feeling, basically. Okay? So now we're going to do, again, I'm just going through basic poses for another 4 minutes. We'll probably add another one in. Let's do reverse warrior. So what's going to happen now, we're going to go back into that warrior 2. Beautiful. Watch me first. The front hand tips up, and I come back in. Now we're going to go back to flossing. So I'm going to straighten the leg. As I straighten the leg, my hand on the back leg is going to sort of inch down. And then I'm going to bend the knee. So make the stretch more intense. So I'm breathing in, straighten the leg, walking the fingers down the back leg, and then bending in. 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Now straighten the leg, and we'll go straight into triangle pose. So triangle pose, if I can explain, is similar to the side angle, but now the leg is straight. So again, you can bring your hand to your leg. You can bring your hand to the block, but the same rule applies. If my shoulder starts to come forward like this, I am putting too much emphasis on it. So only go to a point where you can feel the stretch, you want to feel the body working, but you don't want to be shaking or breathing heavy, and you want that be able to look up at that hand and see that everything's straight. Fantastic. Come up, and we'll just do the same on the other side. So we start off with reverse warrior, bending the knee, okay, and then dipping back. Once you're back as far as you can, breathe in, straighten the leg, walk the fingers down, bend the knee. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then straighten the leg, and again tip forward into your triangle pose, either to the shin, or the foot, or fingertips, on your block, knuckles maybe, and look up at our hand, and just stretch. Cool, stand up, give your legs a shake. So that's the yoga part, and again, sometimes we do that yoga section for longer, do different things, but basically the yoga kind of works your legs in ways you don't even realize they're working, just holding these poses. So we're going to come down now to a floor stretch. So as I stated before, if you can't sit up straight, you want to sit on a block, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do some testing stretches today to see if we are more flexible in the hot weather. It doesn't matter whether we can do all these or not. What matters is that we're giving them a go. So the first one we're going to do is feet are in a butterfly position. We grab one foot, and you want to grab the foot on the inside top first. And you're just trying to straighten that leg. Now don't worry if it straightens or not, as long as you can feel the top hamstring working. And we're going to bend it as we breathe in, as we straighten it, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the fifth one now we're going to hold it for about 6 to 10 seconds. If you can't quite straighten your leg, use the other hand to push the leg straight. Fantastic. Now, grab the other foot and do the same on the other side. So again, you can start with the leg bent here. You bring it in, straighten it a bit more. As long as you can feel the top of this hamstring here working, or maybe feel it more in your calf. The idea is, we'll hold out straight now, hold out straight this one. 1, 2. So hold it with the other hand, right? Yeah. That's it, yeah. A little bit easier. There is a version where you hold it with the opposite hand, but that's a lot harder, okay? So, cool. Now, this is a stretch that I like, and I like to give it to people even when they can't do it, because you might have months, years not being able to do it. When you do it, it feels great, okay? So this is a stretch. You grab both feet. First of all, you just try and sit with the heels off the floor. That's like stage 1, can you balance? Stage 2 is, can you bend them slightly? And stage 3 is, can you straighten the legs? Okay? So whether you can do this, you can't do this, it's a good test to test your flexibility. Okay? And when you can do it, it's a nice little party trick for yourself. That's it. But you balanced. That's good. Okay. Right, level 2. You grab the outside edge of the foot, and this time you take it up a little bit higher. So if you found the first stretch difficult, this one will be obviously harder, but this is like level 2 of the stretch. And again, try and hold it straight, make sure you're breathing. 1, 2. Cool. And change leg. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold it out there. And then obviously you can do the same drill, which is harder, with grabbing the legs on the outside. Yeah, we won't go through it now, but I'm just saying, for all these stretches, there are levels, okay, that you can work on. The last one, hardest one, is you grab the inside of the heel. Now instead of the foot going forward, it's going out to the side. And this is probably the hardest one. But this is working on a kick that we have that's very advanced called diagonal kick. So for people who are like, I'll never be able to do that diagonal kick, as I was when I started training, this is a stretch that when you can straighten the leg, 1, 2, feel pretty close to getting it. And the other side. And hold it. Fantastic. Okay, so that's the hamstrings done. We're now going to do the outer hips. So have your hands behind you and just rock the knees side to side. That's it. So have your heels round just outside your hips. That's it, yeah. Bend them a little bit more. Bend your legs a little bit more. Bring your heels in. That's it, and go side to side. This is a nice, gentle flossing stretch for your hips that can be nice after doing some of the bigger stretches. Now, again, it doesn't matter which side you turn to, but we're going to turn here. If you're sitting back like this, my advice is to sit yourself on a block so that you can sit up tall. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our hands either side and do these mini push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're just going to do a little bit of PNF stretching. So imagine you can push your knee through the floor. Use all your strength to push the knee down. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now put your hand across your knee or leg and try and lift the knee off the mat. And lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it doesn't matter if you can or can't, but see if you can get your hands a little bit further forward. Maybe you got your hands forward, maybe you're on your forearms. And we're just going to do that one more time today, okay? So push the knee down into the floor. 3, 4, 5, and then lift the leg up. And lift. 2, 4, 5. Now this is where a block is great. You can put your block here and try and lean onto your block, or pads or hands. But the simple act of leaning on something forces your body to relax. So don't worry if you're not there yet, but again, it's a measurable way to improve your flexibility. Cool. And flip over to the other side. Okay. And again, we're just going to do those push-ups over the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, we're going to push the knee into the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to lift the knee off the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, if you can put your hands a little bit further forward, and your hands are on your forearms, do that. Doesn't matter if you can't. And then push the knee into the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to try and lift the knee up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you don't need to have a block, but I'm just showing you the advantage of a block or pillows or hands. Is to rest your head on it and just chill out. Cool. All right, excellent. So that's the floor stretching. Now, one of the things that I do that many other stretching classes don't do is leg conditioning. Leg conditioning for me is not the same as weightlifting. It's getting your body to get strong in this maximum movement. Okay. Recently, I pulled my hamstring, and I explained to people the reason people don't like working out with their hamstrings is no one, not even Mr. Universe, goes, look at these defined hamstrings. Look, you've never seen hamstrings like that before. No one does. No one's at the gym going, look at these hammies, they're so strong. They're the most unattractive muscle in the world, you know? I'm not saying they're not functional, I'm not saying they're but no one, people say, look at my quads, people say, look at my calves, you know, any other part of your body apart from your hamstring. So they kind of get ignored. So, you can also do this with socks. Here's a slider. Just Disaster. I should have done more research. You've got a sock that works too. Where is the other sliders? I had loads. Right. Don't worry. We can use this. I'll tell you what, you have a slider, who are going to have this? It's me now. Next. So also, if you've got a Pilates board, if you've got a sock, anything else like that. So, can I just borrow your slider? Show you the slider. Now, you can do this 2-footed or 1-footed. Today, we're only going to do one set because I'm showing you, but the idea is that in reality, you do 3 to 5 sets. There's something about odd number sets that work better, okay? So, if you're using the 2 feet, which I recommend first, you slide out as far as you can, and then you try and bring it back in. If your legs start to cramp up, this is normal, okay? The harder one, which leg should I use, is one-legged. So you take one leg out and then bring it back, okay? So, do as many as you can, 2 feet or 1 foot, and if you're doing it on 1 foot, try and match it. And just keep doing it until your legs cramp up, okay? And ours works the same, you just roll out like that, but it's a bit harder. So you've got to come up, roll it out, and then roll it back in. So it actually rolls onto your calves. So I get it right on your toes for them. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's so hard, right? Lift your hips. Lift your hips as high as you can. Now do it. Feel it now, right? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Again, keeping your hips down is the easier version, but it's a bit too easy. Yeah. So there's always levels. But yeah, if you do that one-legged and you did 3 sets, that's a real killer. Okay. So now, what I'm going to give people a chance to do is to do the one-legged bridge. Okay. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can grab a shield. Just be careful because they do have a tendency to all fall down. So just push them all in as you bring it back. So when you've got a yoga block, you can make a stack. There we go. So if you've got a yoga block, you can make a stack like this. Also, if you've got like a medicine ball or a Pilates ball or something like that, that wobbles, so that'll make it harder. So again, if you get good at this, if you've got a ball that moves around, doing it here is fine. So I'll just show you. We all know what a bridge is. With the bridge, you're trying to push your heels down and get your hips as high as they can. When you have your foot on the blocks or the shield, you've got, let's get in position now, you've got one leg out and you're pushing up. Again, I'm going to do 10, but let's say you do 6 and you've got, oh, my leg's absolutely killing. Just do 6. And if the block's too much, you can do it on the floor as well. So if you've never done this before and you're like, I'm a bit worried about this, do it like that. But these are great exercises that if you're worried about your hamstring not being strong, these are exercises that are recommended, okay? Ready, and go for it. And change leg, if you haven't already. Right, before the next tough stretch, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a release of your leg, because your legs are probably feeling like throbbing a bit, okay? So this is a good one for sciatica. So you basically, we did something similar to this the other week, but this is a good way of doing it. You hold on to the back of your leg, you curl your toes and try and straighten your leg. Then you point your toes and come down. If there's no tension whatsoever, just pull your leg in tighter, Okay? All I want you to do is 10 on each leg. I'm just going to quickly run next door and see if there's more sliders. Because I need sliders for the next exercise. So 10 on one leg, 10 on the other. I'm back now. Okay, guys. There were more sliders, they were just next door. Alright, so here's the exercise. I'll show you from the side so you can see. Now you can take your leg as far back as you want, but the slider definitely works on this. So you've got your hands on the wall, one foot on tiptoes, and the front foot is like on the heel. Yeah? You take this foot out as far as you feel comfortable, then bring it back in. Far out as you feel comfortable, don't go too far. Okay, so start slow, and bring it. Again, you're going to do 10 on each side, okay? So front foot closest to the wall on the heel, back foot on tiptoes. And again, at the home, if you've got a sock or something, knee slider, just something slippery like a paper plate or something. That's what we used to use. Legs, we haven't done so already. Okay, cool. That's enough leg conditioning for one day. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a couple of flexibility tests to see if in this hot, sticky weather, hot, horrible, sticky weather, you're actually more flexible. So the first one is, in the winter, I know what it's like, someone says touch your toes and you're like that. Oh my God, it's so far away, why can't they get there? Yeah? Okay, so I hate that. That's going from 0 to 100 miles an hour. The one I like better is you start with your legs far apart, okay? So far apart that you can get your hands to the floor. Now if you're in a position where your legs are wide and you still can't get your hands to the floor, put them on blocks, okay? But basically, here's the test. Hands have to be on the floor. Once you're happy with the stretch, you bend your knees, heels, toes come in. Then straighten your legs. Chill out for a second, see if it works. Yep, I'm happy. Bend the knees, heels, toes, straighten. Okay, give that a go. That's good, Mike. That's really good. Well done.
Can you show me that again?
Yeah, so touch the floor. Right, I'll talk you through it, okay?
Yeah.
Now, make sure your legs are completely straight. Okay. what I want you to do is walk your hand back in a bit. So try to straighten those legs. That's it. Fully straighten. That's it. Lock the knees out. Now bend the knees. And once they bend, walk the toes in and the heels in at 1 inch. That's it. Now try to straighten again. There. See that? Now chill out there for as long as you want. When you're okay, bend the knees again, walk the toes in a little bit more and try again. So bend your knees as much as possible. Walk the toes in. The toes, heels, and then straighten again. So you slowly walk your feet together, and you know where you are then. Well done, Andrew. That's awesome. Okay, so that's test number 1. Now we've got a balance test now. So if balance is not your thing, stand next to the wall and put your hand next to the wall. Balance is secondary to the stretch. Again, I usually say there's probably more than 2 kinds of stretches, but to me anyway, there's 2 kinds of stretches. There are stretches when we are standing and stretches where we were sitting. And sometimes the standing motion will make the stretch better, and sometimes the seated motion better. So classic point is this one. Legs wide, box split, that's the standing version. Sitting down, that's the pancake, the straddle. Yeah? Both the same stretch, one is standing, one is seated. Okay? So earlier we did this one, which some people were like, my leg's too far away, I can't do it. So this is the standing version, okay? And there are levels, so you go to your level, okay? Level 1, can I stand in a figure 4? And if you worry about balance, well, just go next to that thing, so you put your hand up, okay? Level 2, can I grab the foot with the opposite hand? And then point that knee down, Steve. Feel that in your hip? Yeah, good. Right? This one's a bit of a cheat because it's a shoulder stretch as well. But the spare hand you've got, you take your behind and grab your bicep. Obviously, you've got your hand on the wall, you can't do that one. So what we're on to now, level 3. Level 4, release the hands. Can you bend the knee and bring your elbows to your shin? Oh, gotta concentrate. Level 5, I think we're on. Can you grab your shin? And just relax a second. I wouldn't use the pads, but if you've got blocks, this is a great halfway zone. So I'm here. I'm like, right, I want to be able to touch the floor with this stretch, but I'm not quite there yet. So what you do is you bend and come onto the blocks. And you flip the blocks, and you flip the blocks, and then you get rid of the blocks. Do you understand? Yeah? So that's how you build up to those stretches, okay? Here you go, Brett. Have these blocks. See everything you can get. And Andrea, you love your inversions, don't you?
Yeah.
What? No, I couldn't do that a few years ago. But that's completely the stretch.
I can do that.
Don't worry about it. But again, it's one of these things now. When I did it a few years ago, I was like, quick film it because I'll never be able to do it again.
Yeah.
But now, as long as I'm warm, I can do it every time. So it's this thing, when you do something once, like a jump kick or anything, you do it once, and then you get consistent, do it every time. But see, what I'm saying is, it's a good way to measure. Like, for example, if you can't even do that, you're not going to be able to do the floor one. So you just stand like this, if that's okay for you. So we're on the other leg now, so I'm just talking as we go through, but obviously go at your own pace. So you just stand here and chill out. And again, the thing is, you can do this while waiting for the kettle to boil, yeah? Or waiting for an app to download. It doesn't have to be for a long time. This one I like, because it kind of feel everything working out. Forces everything to work.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's it. So with the other hand, where you're grabbing your bicep, it's quite hard. It's a shoulder one as well, so it's kind of a cheat. And then you start to sit down. Okay. Right, grab your leg. Now I gotta be able to do it on the other side. Can I do it on the other side? I'm on the floor. Okay, we've got time for one more. So we've done hamstrings, we've done hips, let's do quads, okay? Now if you feel pain in your knees, you must back off, okay? That's the main thing I would say. Okay, so the quad one. Quickly go through it. So number one, can you put your hand behind your back and lean without your knees hurting or your lower back? So if your lower back hurts or if your knees hurt, stop. This is too much for you. There's other ways to stretch out your quads. If that is available to you, two options. You can either have your toes curled and reach back for your heels. You could have blocks there, or you can put your feet on the floor and grab onto your shirt. And push your hips up. If it's available to you, throw your head back. Okay, so come up, just watch. So if that's okay for you, then you come down to the floor. So all the way on there, level 3, level 4, lost track. And then it's forearms. And then you can have blocks under your head or lie all the way back. Good shot. That's a good quad one. Hey, let's just wait outside a sec. We haven't quite finished yet. It's alright, we'll be finished shortly now. Okay, so again, the test, the stretches. You don't do the test and stretches every day because your body with flexibility does not improve every day. But say for Haroon now, Haroon, you couldn't do that like 5 years ago. The lying back, yeah? So, yeah. Does that make sense? So the good thing is every once in a while you do it and you go, oh, I can do a bit more than I did before. But it's important to like not go from 1 to 1,000, like I said about touching the toes. I hate that because people just go, oh, I still can't touch my toes. Oh, I still can't. But with the thing, like from here, so for example, let's say you start and you go like, my legs are nowhere near the line and I can touch the floor. But now I've been working on my flexibility, my legs are on the line. All right, I've been working on my flexibility, now my feet are inside the line. You measure it, yeah? So small measurement and celebrate your victories. Take a photo, little video, save it for yourself, watch it back in a couple of years ago, look when I did this is great. And you just keep improving like that, slowly, slowly, slowly. So with everything, it's good to monitor and progress, not just go like, I can't do this stretch or I can't do that stretch. No one can do the stretches when they start, unless they're a baby and they have not sat down at school for 8 hours every day. When we get older, we start to stiffen up very quickly.